Hello everyone! This is a comprehensive guide to defeating the Shichimen warrior's sword-only, Jaugenin head. In case you don't know me, hi, my name is Victor, otherwise known as Savio, and I'm a Sekiro hitless runner. With that out of the way, this video will be split into 9 chapters with timestamps found in the description. The strats I will show you in this video aren't the only way to play. These are just the strats I used to beat him. Now, let's begin by taking a look at what Shichimen even is and why he is such a problem. The Shichimen warrior is an apparition type mini-boss in Sekiro. This means that without using the Divine Confetti, you will deal 3 times less damage towards Shichimen, and you won't be able to stagger him or perform the special mechanics this fight has to offer, such as deflecting the terror attacks or destroying the boss with sword swings. He is different from other enemies in the game, as his main gimmicks are the bolts he spawns. Now that you have an idea on who Shichimen is, let's have a quick look over Sekiro's moveset. Feel free to skip this part if you are already familiar with it. To start with, Sekiro has 5 basic slash animations he can do when you click the attack button. He starts with 2 vertical slashes, followed by 2 horizontal slashes, and ends with a 5th overhead slash. You can turn however you want while doing these. Understanding how they work is extremely useful. By dodging or sprinting, you can get a different horizontal slash. You can skip the first slash animation by holding block before attacking. This will cause a new, fast second slash animation, followed by 2 horizontal slashes and an overhead. You can also achieve the same effect by crouching. In addition to having the faster slash animation, crouching lowers your hitbox as well. This means you can use crouches to duck under attacks easier. There is one more slash we can do while crouched, with a ceiling above Sekiro. It's a slow horizontal slash with no additional follow-ups. We won't have to worry about it for Shichimen. With that in mind, let me walk you through Shichimen's moveset. And now we're at the start of the fight. A laser after phase transition. A fast one-handed double melee starting from the left. A two-handed slow melee also starting from the left. Single big ball spawn, which starts with Shichimen putting his stuff into the ground and spawning a big ball somewhere above him. A double mid-air big ball spawn that starts with the same way, except he jumps into the air first. A laser composed of small balls. A mid-air version of the ball laser. Double staff spin, which shoots a lot of balls in 9 directions. a midair double spin, and finally a sidestep to both the left and to the right, spawning balls on the way. There are also two special moves at far range, which are double versions of the moves we already saw. Double version of the ball laser, and double big ball. Shichimen has two different phases. They differ by the attacks he does. In phase 1, at close range, Shichimen will use both of his melees, ball laser, the mirror ball laser, mirror double spin, both big ball attacks, and sidestep. The other moves are reserved for far range. In phase 2, at close range, Shichimen will stop doing any midair moves and instead swap to using the double staff spin. The rest remains the same. And now, let's move on to the basic punishes. Dora is the first move Shichimen does when you aggro him. It starts with Shichimen grabbing his staff and stabbing it into the ground with a distinct sound, and leaving it there while surrounded by a big aura that deals terror damage. It spawns balls from the ground around him while shooting small balls at you, ending with 3 big balls. To avoid it, hide behind this rock until the first big ball gets destroyed, then run to the left and close distance. You should never see this move in the middle of the fight, but if you do, either hide behind the nearest wall or run to the side. The double melee is composed of the initial swing and a follow-up. After the first swing, Shichimen will check if you are in front of him. If you are, he will do the follow-up swing, and if not, he will stop the move there, which looks like this. While Shichimen is stirring up his double melee, he will put his staff high up in the air and behind him, preparing to swing, allowing you to recognize it. Once you see it, you want to dodge backwards and then buffer on R1, aiming it forward to hit Shichimen. After the R1 connects, you want to do another backwards dodge. You cannot buffer it, meaning you have to time it. Then, you will do another 4 R1s, while Shichimen is recovering from the animation. Try to aim your final R1 to the left, this will be useful later. The slow melee is a single attack without any follow-ups. It starts with Shichimen grabbing his staff with both of his hands and putting it over his shoulder, preparing to swing. The first strat for this move is to just dodge it. After dodging it in any direction, you can do 3 R1s and wait for the next move. The second strat is to walk to the left, strafing it. This allows you to safely do 4 R1s and reduce the amount of space you need to avoid the move. The third strat requires you to crouch. If you don't have enough time to perform the strafe, you can do the crouch first, which will lower Sekiro's hitbox and allow you to walk under the move anyway. Thanks to the fast slash animation, after crouching, you can safely do 4 R1s. The big ball move starts with Shichimen stabbing his staff vertically into the ground and raising it up again while summoning a big ball. The big ball will spawn in a random spot above Shichimen, both in terms of position and height in relation to the ground. The way I would recommend to deal with this move is to do a slash forward into him, and then follow it up with another slash, but this time aiming it away from him to the right. The reason for aiming the second slash away is to minimize the amount of space for the big ball to spawn around us, allowing us to recognize where it spawned and get away from it quicker. The reason for aiming to the right is due to how our slash hitboxes work. By aiming to the right, you can hit every single slash the same way every time, but if you try to slash in another direction, you would have trouble hitting him sometimes. Now, after doing the 2 slashes, your aim is to get away from the big ball, so you can dodge through it. You can skip this step if the ball is already in a good spot. It's important to be away from it, because directly above you, or you dash with it, the tracking will cause the ball to follow you instead of getting destroyed on the ground, and hit you, which looks like this. In case the ball spawns behind your camera, you can use its purple glow to tell where it is and still dodge through it. Lastly, after you have successfully dodged through the big ball, you need to take a look at Shichimen, because he can do an instant follow-up with a melee or the double staff spin. I will talk more about this later in the memes chapter. The middle double big ball move starts similar to the normal big ball, except after Shichimen stabs his staff into the ground, he jumps in the air and casts 2 big balls. In order to see everything clearly, try to position your camera parallel to the ground. This will allow you to see both the balls on the ground and the big ball Shichimen is casting in the air. Once you see the big ball moving towards you, dodge through it. Do the same for the second ball. After you have dodged both balls, lock onto Shichimen and do a thrust, then lock off again. For the ball laser in phase 1, you will most likely see it at far range and in phase 2 at close range. The move starts with Shichimen holding his staff forward and shooting small balls with tracking from it. The balls start at the tip of the staff, meaning you can stand in front of Shichimen during it and not get hit. While at far range, you can either run or walk to the side, doesn't matter if you are going left or right. Walking allows you to use less space. After that, you'll most likely close distance like so. If you get this move at close range, you can do up to 7 R1s by aiming behind him. By getting behind him, during this move, you force Shichimen to do a turn, and he can't attack while doing it, allowing you to do an additional R1 once you see the turn. If you are unable to get behind him due to a wall, I would recommend doing less R1s and wait for the next move, due to an instant cancel similar to that after the big ball. The mid-air ball laser starts similar to the ball laser, except Shichimen jumps into the air to do it. From there, he does one barrage of balls and then follows up with one of the two options. Either he stays still in the air and does his follow-up stationary like so, or he jumps to the right while doing the follow-up, which looks like this. To start, walk or dodge backwards and quickly turn to the right. This is so you can easily catch him. From there, similar to the normal ball laser, you can either walk or run. While you are doing that, pay attention to Shichimen and try to recognize which follow-up he is doing. If he is jumping to the right, run up to him and do 3 R1s, aiming them to the left, which will be important later. If he is stationary, walk up to him and wait until he starts to slowly fall down. Once you see him falling down, do 4 R1s and aim your last slash to the left as well. The double staff spin is one of the more complex and annoying moves in the fight. It's composed of Shichimen doing 2 circles with his staff, spawning balls in all directions on the way. All of the balls are always in the same spot and have the same speed, meaning you can always know where the balls will end up before he even finishes the move. After the move is done, these balls will behave however they want. More on that later. An important aspect of this move are the 2 balls he shoots forward, which you usually don't see. If you forget about these balls, you might dash into them later, so make sure you remember that they might be there and look in a direction before going there. After the first spin, if you are anywhere behind Shichimen, he will immediately end the move. This means that by going to the side, you can shorten the move and get a nice punish window. I personally recommend going to the left and do 3 R1s, aiming the first to the left, second backwards, and the third to the right. This is because Shichimen's staff goes over your head while on the left side, which isn't the case on the right side. This means that by being on the right, you can get hit instantly, which looks like this. To prevent this, dodge away whenever you are on the right. If you are unable to get behind Shichimen due to balls or walls, you can wait for him to finish the move and then walk around the left or the right. I personally prefer the left as there are less balls there. Going that way also makes a lot of the balls likely to immediately get destroyed on the ground, greatly improving your position. If Shichimen has his back against the wall, you can just hit him 4 to 6 times while he is doing the spins. Remember about the 2 balls behind you. The mid-air double spin starts with Shichimen jumping into the air and doing 2 staff spins, shooting balls in all directions. These balls are always in the same spot. After doing the first spin, Shichimen will do one of the 2 options. He will either stay in place and do the second spin like so, or he will dash to the left while doing the spin, which looks like this. Once you see the move, start walking towards Shichimen and stop once he is at the end of the first spin. Afterwards, react to which follow-up he is doing. If he is jumping to the left, start sprinting towards him and do 3 R1s aiming to the right. This is because there is a ball above Shichimen that's falling down. Slashing to the right gets you out of the way. If he is staying in place, do a forward dash once Shichimen starts the second spin, lock on and thrust. Then, lock off again and slash to the left thrice. Another option is to dash forward, lock on, and thrust, but then lock off again and dodge to the right around him. Do 2 R1s to the right, aiming towards Shichimen's back, and finally do a third to the left. This will be useful later. By getting behind him, you're forcing a turn in which he cannot attack. The sidestep starts with Shichimen holding his glowing staff to the side and jumping the opposite way. He can jump both left and right. While jumping, he spawns 3 balls on the way and ends with a swing that doesn't have a hitbox. Once you see this move, run with him. If he is jumping to the right, do 2 R1s once he is at the end of his jump. Try aiming them to the right. If he is jumping to the left, you want to press the attack button before he does the final swing. If you do that, you are able to do 3 R1s. Aim them to the left. In case you weren't fast enough and he did the swing before you managed to click the attack button, do only 2 R1s, still aiming to the left. The laser is a beam with great tracking and extreme range. It spawns balls around the whole arena. For the Abandoned Dungeon Shichimen, it will only happen at the phase transition. After you deathblow Shichimen, he will start to slowly disappear. Once he is fully gone, he chooses one of his 3 possible spawn locations. The one he chooses is the farthest one from Sekiro at the moment he disappears. Here is a rough map where the spawn points are in red and the idol is in blue. After performing a deathblow, I would recommend going towards this corner. You don't have to be super specific with where you stand, but the line on the ground is a good visual cue. Once you are there, focus your attention on Shichimen. Once he fully disappears, start running towards the spawn point. The balls that spawn on the phase transition aren't random, so none of them will hit you on this path. If you are too far from the corner at the end of phase 1, you can reposition Shichimen closer to it before performing the deathblow. To do this, keep his back facing towards the spot you want to go to, like so. Let's talk about balls. The floating balls that Shichimen leaves behind are the main reason for him being so different from other bosses in the game. They can get in your way anytime they want and force you to pay attention during all of your punishes. First, let's explain how the balls behave. Every ball when spawned has its own stats, the first of which is the lifetime. After being spawned, every ball will be in the arena for 15 seconds before disappearing. An exception to this are the balls spawned by his aura move. These last 7 seconds. Next is the ball's initial velocity. This is how fast the ball will be shot out of the move. They also have a maximum and a minimum velocity. This means that some balls can move faster than others and some can even stay in place. Another factor is the ball's homing. Some balls will start homing to Sekiro when close and stop once out of range. Others will be homing from any distance but stop once Sekiro gets close to them. There is also the homing angle. This is why some balls will go in seemingly random directions while others will be going straight at you. Lastly, every time a ball is spawned from a move, other than the laser and aura, it will spawn at the tip of Shichimen's staff. This is where the shooting angle comes in. This angle is what decides which direction the ball will move once spawned. There is a maximum random angle added to this. That means that when a ball is spawned at an 80-degree angle, with a 10-degree maximum random angle, it can shoot at any degree from 70 to 90 degrees. Every ball is unique, even balls within the same move have different stats. With all of this in mind, it's pretty clear why you cannot keep track of all the balls individually. You cannot predict how they'll move as there is way too many of them, and they all behave differently. Let me explain how to deal with all of this. Instead of trying to think of every single ball individually, a much simpler and easier way is to think of the spot where the balls could be. For example, in this case Shichimen did a mirror double spin, shooting balls somewhere behind the camera. This means that a ball could be anywhere behind us, which would look like this. With this in mind, we want to avoid going into the spot where the balls could be. This is why you don't want to dodge backwards here, and instead you want to dodge away from that spot and never approach it until you rotate your camera. Let's take a look at other moves which spawn balls. In this case, Shichimen did a sidestep, leaving a trail of balls which we can once again think of as an area where the balls could be. The balls are spawned on the path Shichimen takes, so in this example, we don't want to dodge to the right. For the other sidestep, it's the same thing, except we don't want to dodge towards the left. Next up is the double staff spin. With this move, Shichimen spawns balls close to himself on the side and back, and shoots balls far away on the front. The good thing here is that all the balls that are close to him after the move are visible, due to your camera facing them, and there are only 2 balls that get shot out really far out of reach, so you don't have to worry about them immediately. In general, you only have to worry about the 2 far away balls after Shichimen does 2 more moves. Once you think these balls might be close, rotate your camera to see where they are and decide from there. If you cancel the second spin by getting behind him during the move, it's almost identical. There are just less balls. Lastly, there is one more move that spawns balls, and that's the laser. This move happens only once, but it happens very far into the fight, as a phase transition. It's trickier than the other moves, as you cannot think of the area where the balls could be, because the balls are everywhere. To deal with this, I would recommend getting near a wall and only dodge towards the parts of the arena you see with your camera. Once you are near a wall, you can ignore everything behind you, as there is just a wall and no balls can be there. Now that we know all the moves that spawn balls and how to deal with them, let's take a look at some practical examples from the fight. In this example, Shichimen did the middle double spin, right sidestep, slow melee, middle double spin again, double melee, and the middle ball laser. After the middle double spin, we already know where the balls could be. But Shichimen jumps into them. By rotating our camera, we can safely reach him after the sidestep. The slow melee, we dodge away from the balls and rotate the camera towards them, so we can see where they are. Shichimen follows up with another middle double spin, but because we had rotated at the camera earlier, we can see all the balls clearly, allowing us to go with him. Because he lands on top of a ball, you shouldn't do a thrust here. Instead, walk around the ball first and attack once it's safe. Afterwards, he does a double melee, which we dodge away from the balls. Finally, he does a middle ball laser, which we can safely run up to around the right. Lastly, he does another double melee, but all of the balls are already far away. Shichimen starts by doing a middle double spin into the wall, which breaks the balls he shoots to the right. You don't want to end up against a wall, because that can cause you to get surrounded by balls. Instead, you can drop a bit of the punish and dodge away from it. After that, Shichimen does the big ball move, but because there is a ball inside of him, it's a good idea to keep some distance. Next, he does a double staff spin, with his back against the wall. Almost all of the balls he spawned are immediately visible, and because he does the ball laser next, you should rotate your camera towards the way you are going to run. In this case, to the right. While he's doing the ball laser, you can close distance and get a punish. Lastly, Shichimen does a slow melee, which we dodge away from the balls. For this example, Shichimen begins with a double staff spin. We cancel the second spin, so there are less balls around us, and nearly all of them get destroyed. After that, he does a sidestep to the left, and because most of the balls from the double spin got destroyed on the ground, we can just run up to him. Shichimen continues with a big ball, but there is a ball homing towards us. For this reason, you shouldn't try to punish him after dodging the big ball, as you might get hit by the homing ball. The next move is a slow melee, which is easily avoided by walking away from the balls. Shichimen continues with a ball laser, except there are two balls very close to him. For this reason, you should either run away to the right immediately, or get a small punish and then dodge to the right. Lastly, Shichimen does another double staff spin, but because one of the balls near him got destroyed and the other is far away, you can go for the usual punish and cancel the second spin. Shichimen is a very long fight, so having advanced punishes helps a lot. Let's walk over them. Let's start with moves, being followed up by the slow melee. These punishes are especially nice because they reduce the amount of space you'll need to deal with the move and give you more damage windows. The first punish will be fast melee into slow melee. By aiming your slash to the left after the fast double melee, you can then recognize the slow melee and crouch while walking to the left. This will allow you to do the strafe immediately, after which you are able to safely do 4 hits. The next possibility is mirror ball laser followed up by the slow melee. If he stays still in the air, you can just walk the move to the left and then do 4 hits. If he instead jumps to the right, you can use your 4th slash animation to strafe under the move. This is because the 3rd and 4th slash in Sekiro's moveset lowers your hitbox, allowing you to do this. This extends the punish to 8 hits total. You can also do this punish without a running start. Next is left sidestep into slow melee. If you did 3 slashes after the left sidestep, you can do the same strafe as after the middle ball laser, using your 4th slash to avoid it. This once again turns it into an 8-hit punish. If you weren't in time to do 3 hits and instead only went for 2, you can then walk to the left and do 4 hits afterwards, like so. Another possibility is middle double spin into slow melee. Let's start with the variation in which he jumps to the left. For this, you want to do 3 hits to the side and then dodge away from the slow melee. Afterwards, you need to take a look at the falling ball. If it's inside of Shichimen, like so, don't do a punish yet. Instead, wait until it gets destroyed on the ground and then do a single slash. If the ball is far behind Shichimen, you can safely do 3 slashes immediately after dodging. Now, let's talk about the other possibility in which Shichimen stays in place. For both of the strats I have shown you, you can do the same thing. Use your 4th slash to strafe under the slow melee and do 8 hits in total, which looks like this. Notice how the 8-hit punish always ends with the first horizontal slash. This can make it easier to tell how many hits you are supposed to do. If Shichimen does big ball into slow melee, or middle big ball into slow melee, you can easily walk to the left and strafe it, allowing for 4 hits instead of 3. Similar to other bosses in Sekiro, Shichimen has memes that might happen. Let's explain what that means and what they are. Memes are when something unexpected and clearly unintended happens. Shichimen doesn't have a whole lot of memes. Pretty much all of them are caused by him storing attacks during the big ball or ball laser. This storing causes immediate cancels. The first is big ball into immediate melee. This is the follow-up of his double melee. This is why, earlier, I said that you should first look at Shichimen before attacking after the big ball. Another possibility is big ball into immediate staff spin, which looks like this and doesn't really matter. This cancel only does one spin, no matter where you stand. Similar thing can happen after the ball laser if you stand in front of him. This is why you should try to get behind him, which will cause a turn, removing the possibility of a cancel. That's not possible on the big ball because Shichimen won't do the turn. There is also one more meme that I have only seen once. I don't know what really caused this hit, as usually this ball just flies above your head, and I have never seen it happen again. There are actually two possible RNGs for the first ball, but they don't seem to mean anything significant. The follow-up spin is still unpredictable. The first possibility is the ball being shot forward. And the second is it being shot to the right like so. Now, let's take a brief look at some positions Shichimen may give you. The first position is Shichimen having his back against a wall. This happens quite often and allows you to get a lot of damage in by baiting good moves. In phase 1, while Shichimen's back is against a wall, he is unable to do any middle moves, meaning that as long as you keep him like that, he will only do the melees, big ball, ball laser, and sidestep. In phase 2, he will also do the double staff spin, but you will be able to continue hitting him as the balls get immediately destroyed. Remember about the two lonely balls he shoots behind you though. The way you can keep him in this position is by using his melees to reposition him. Make sure you get his back facing towards the wall before he starts the next move. You can do this by aiming your slashes around him. When he is doing the big ball, it's entirely possible for it to spawn inside of the wall. In this case, it will immediately get destroyed. It's not worth to do R1s here, as he might do the instant cancel meme and hit you. He can always get out by doing the sidestep. The second case is Shichimen being in this corner. This is rather bad, as you quickly get surrounded by balls and have little space to work with. Especially for phase 2, where he starts using a lot of sidesteps. To get him out of here in phase 1, you can try to get between him and the wall. This will allow him to do middle moves which cover a lot of distance. For phase 2, you should try to get near him, keeping his back against the wall. This way, you can use the double melee and sidesteps to get him out of there. The third position is behind this rock. In this case, Shichimen is restricted from all sides, meaning he is unable to do middle moves and sidesteps. To try and get him out of there in both phases, start by using his double melee to move him out. Then, just continue doing that until he eventually sidesteps out of there. And that's it! This is how you defeat the Abandoned Dungeon Shichimen Warrior Sword Only. I hope this guide has helped you get a clearer grasp of Shichimen, and good luck on your journey learning this boss. This is part 1 of the guide. Part 2 will focus on the Ashina Death Shichimen, and part 3 will focus on the Fountainhead Palace version. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.